Hey guys, it's Trent from the Rogue Island. Welcome back to the channel. Today guys, bringing you a final quarterback situation video today. Okay guys, we're going to be looking at the NFC South, the last team that we're going to be looking at before this Thursday with the Hall of Fame game between the Broncos and the Falcons. I'm going to give you my quick Hall of Fame predictions for this week. I'm predicting the Broncos to win. I don't know much about all their other position backups because it's the Hall of Fame game. You're not going to waste your starters like Flacco and stuff like that. But I'm only based it off of the backup quarterbacks for each team. And I guess in this video, I'm going to be talking about the NFC South Falcons. But the Falcons are only going to play Matt Schaub and Kurt Benkert versus Kevin Hogan, Drew Lock, and Brett Rypien. Two guys that I'm really high on. Against Matt Schaub, who I do like, and Kurt Benkert, who could be good. But I'm just predicting the Broncos to win. That's about it. Yeah, just because they have better backup quarterbacks. So yeah, there are my Hall of Fame predictions. Really excited. After I'm done with this quarterback situation video, after the preseason, I will be doing my official NFL predictions, like each team, like what they're gonna go. I don't know if I'm gonna do exactly what they're gonna go, like this team's gonna go 7-5 or whatever the fuck. I know that doesn't make any sense. But I will at least get it down to where like these are the teams that I think are gonna make the playoffs. These are the ones I'm gonna miss, reasons why, stuff like that. I probably won't go into too much detail. Just like, oh yeah, this is what I think is going to happen. Anyway, let's get into the video. Start with the team that won the division last year, the Saints. Saints currently have Drew Brees, Teddy Bridgewater, Taysom Hill, and JT Barrett the fourth. Drew Brees, I think this year he will have a downturn. And I do respect Drew Brees. He's done a lot for the Saints, and he's done a lot for his career to be, like, he's a genuine Hall of Famer. I just think that this is a year we really see, like, yeah, age is catching up with him. Like, I know he wants to play as long as Brady and all that stuff, but it's probably not going to happen this year. And he's probably going to still play good, but it's not going to be as good as last year where he was in the conversation to be the MVP, even though Patrick Mahomes was miles ahead of him. But yeah, Drew Brees, I don't expect the Saints to do as well this year, and I don't expect Drew Brees to play as well this year. Teddy Bridgewater re-signed with the team after possibly going a little not overseas, but over east to the Miami Dolphins before coming back and being like, nah, I'm gonna stick with the better team, where he has a better chance of taking over after Drew Brees retires, which is maybe in a year or two. I'm suspecting a year. They just re-signed him to a one-year deal, so again they're gonna have to see what they want from him, and then hopefully they'll re-sign him. It'd be really awesome to see Teddy Bridgewater be in the future of the Saints. I mean, he's gone through so much in his career. It'd be really cool to see him come back as the future for the Saints. I'm really rooting for the guy. Taysom Hill is also another guy who we could see also taking over the team. I mean, he's got a strong arm. We know that. Or they could just do like a two-quarterback thing where Drew Brees retires and Taysom Hill and Bridgewater retire. Wouldn't that be crazy? That sounds like something Sean Payton would do, is have a two-quarterback system be his guy. Like, every few years they give extensions to both these guys. Like, it's just, that'd be crazy to see. But Taysom Hill's another guy I like. He'll be used as a Swiss Army knife again. And then you have JT Barrett the fourth, who is a practice squad guy. Last year, I think, he was part of the Ohio State Buckeyes, like, trio of quarterbacks, I think. I do like JT Barrett, but I don't think he's that talented enough to make this team. I mean, he might make the practice squad again, but that's all he's really good for, is making a practice squad at this point, so there's no real point. I mean, if Drew Brees retires after this year, he can maybe contend for the third string spot this year or next year, but next year I think will be a definite, like, yeah, you're not going to probably be an NFL quarterback, or at least not with the Saints. But yeah, I expect Brees, Bridgewater, Hill, and Barrett to be on the practice squad. The Falcons, I already talked about it. Matt Ryan, Matt Schaub, Kurt Benkert. Matt Ryan, I think, is, again, one of the top 7 best quarterbacks in the league. I'm really high on Matt Ryan, really high on the Falcons. Matt Schaub's a guy that they do like. They keep re-signing this guy to extensions and stuff like that. He is a solid backup. I mean, he had the Texans, he was a good Texans quarterback, before he got hurt and everything. And I think he's a solid backup. I don't think he's great. I think he's a solid guy, especially since he's older. And you have Kurt Benkert, who was a undrafted free agent last year, who is still on the team, so there's obviously something they liked about him. We'll get to see him try to prove his worth, maybe being the future backup for the team after Matt Schaub retires, maybe something like that, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I already said that I don't think he's that great, but we'll have to wait until the preseason, the Hall of Fame game, to see. The Carolina Panthers. Panthers have Cam Newton, Taylor Heinicke, Kyle Allen, and Will Grier. Cam Newton's coming back from a shoulder injury. I think he's the second best quarterback in the NFC South behind Matt Ryan, but I do really like Cam Newton still. He's going to be doing like a new throwing motion, and it'll be really exciting to see him this year. I think that he'll definitely be better this year, but I think he'll be like 20% better this year. But I don't know if it's enough to make him into the playoffs. Like, if people will still call him Superman and everything, he'll still have great games, but I don't think it's enough to make the playoffs. But it's definitely a stepping stone to be like, yeah, this guy, he's going to take us places in the future. Taylor Heinicke's another guy I'm high on. He got a chance last year to start with the team. Didn't do that well. Then he got injured. Yet somehow he's still on the team. Kyle Allen's a guy that I like. That he was an undrafted free agent last year. Taylor Heinicke got hurt. Kyle Allen came in. He played good, and then he got injured, and then Garrett Gilbert went in Week 17. But, yeah, Kyle Allen I like. And then Will Grier, who they drafted out of West Virginia. I really do like Will Grier. I had him going to the Buccaneers, which was stupid. But Will Grier, they also drafted him as more of insurance behind Cam Newton, just in case his shoulder, if he gets injured again, that they can save their season. Because, remember, last season they were 6-2, like 6-3 or something like that, with Cam Newton, and they lost the rest of their games except for one, and like that was terrible. Complete dumpster fire of a backup quarterback with Taylor Heinicke. So I expect it to be Cam Newton, Kyle Allen, and Will Grier, or probably in that order, maybe Grier, Allen. I just don't see Taylor Heinicke making it. Sorry, dude. I just don't think you're that good. And then finally, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers got Jameis Winston, Blaine Gabbert, who I called going to the Buccaneers because what's-his-face went there, Bruce Arians, and they both worked together in the Cardinals. I got to fit that in there every time I can. Ryan Griffin, because that was my first prediction that came right. Ryan Griffin and Nick Fitzgerald. Jameis Winston, I think Bruce Arians needs more than 1 year to give Jameis Winston. I think Jameis Winston will have a statistically good year, but I don't think it's enough for ownership to be like, yeah, let's sign him to a 3-year contract extension. Like, no. Either you're going to re-sign him on a 1-year contract extension, or what I think they should do is redraft next year. You're going to have some good quarterbacks coming out next year. Tua Tagovailoa, Justin Herbert. I'm sure there's some other guys. But I would just wait until next year. I see try to get the best out of Jameis Winston, but I think at this point he's just I don't think he's mature enough really still. Even with Bruce Arians coming in there, I don't think it's going to be enough. But hey, maybe try out for the XFL Tampa Bay team, bro. Blaine Gabbert, I think he's a solid backup. I think he's a good third stringer. I think he's an okay backup. We'll have to wait and see in the preseason. I think he'll end up being the main backup, though, since he has the most experience. Ryan Griffin's a guy who's been on practice squads all the time. The Buccaneers recently signed him to a 2-year extension. I think between Blaine Gabbert and Nick Fitzgerald, he's probably going to get edged out. Although, there's a reason why the Buccaneers have kept him around, but I haven't really seen it. Although I'm rooting for him, but I just don't see it really happening. And then you have Nick Fitzgerald, who they drafted out of Mississippi State. Or not drafted, he was an undrafted free agent out of Mississippi. I think it was Mississippi State, Or it was Mississippi Bulldogs, something like that. And he's a guy who a lot of people had going in the draft. The Vikings were looking at him possibly. But I think Nick Fitzgerald could also they got him because it's like, maybe this guy can be the future of the league if Jameis Winston isn't, the guy. I mean, I think Ryan Griffin, Nick Fitzgerald this year have a way to prove, like, yeah, we can maybe do something with this team if Jameis Winston gets injured or something like that. But obviously, I think it's going to end up being Jameis Winston, Gabbert, and Fitzgerald, and I think next year they're probably going to draft somebody. So, yeah. I'm all done with the quarterback situations. Man, a lot of good... Man, this preseason is going to be fun. I love the preseason. NFL, don't shorten it to 2. I love it too much because we get to see the backup quarterbacks and we never get to see them enough, which is both a good thing because that means our starters don't get hurt, but it's also a bad thing because we don't get to see them that much. We only get to see them 4 games a year. So, yeah, I'm really excited this year for the preseason. I love preseason. I always love preseason. You get to see players that you don't get to see that much. So thank you guys so much for watching these videos. This has been Trent of the Rogue Island, and I'll see you guys in my official prediction video.